Welcome to Chocolate Chocolates. Today we're going to make our famous chocolate beignets. We offer these at the shop every Saturday and Sunday. We batter dip them and fry them to order, and they're very popular. They require a few steps, but really they're very easy as long as you leave enough free time to complete them. To begin with, we make the ganache, which is the filling for the beignets. And the ganache is made from a semi-sweet chocolate and mascarpone cheese. You want to start with 3 cups of mascarpone. Each one of these is 2, so I'm going to use 1.5 container. Place it right into a large stainless steel bowl. And 21 ounces of a semi-sweet chocolate. As you can see, I don't have it finely chopped. There are chunks here. It doesn't matter because the mascarpone cheese and the chocolate is going to melt down together over what we call a bain-marie, which is simply a pot with a little bit of water in it. Not a lot of water because we don't want the water to touch the bottom of the bowl. It will break the cheese. And you want the heat on the water to be a low heat, so it melts down very slowly. If the water gets really hot, it will break your mascarpone. And then instead of your mixture being nice and shiny and creamy looking, it'll look broken and bumpy. So, mascarpone, our chocolate, stainless steel bowl. We have our pan, a little bit of water. It's on a low heat. Now we put it on top. And all you have to do is return to this every 10 minutes or so and stir it until you see that it is all melted and you can blend it together nicely. Once it's completely melted and you blend it together, then we're going to pour it out on a sheet pan to cool. Once the semi-sweet chocolate and mascarpone is nicely melted and you've combined it to a smooth mixture in the bowl, we pour it out onto a sheet pan and put it in the refrigerator to set up. This has been in the refrigerator for about 90 minutes. I always try to put it on one of the racks in the refrigerator that allow air underneath it, and that helps the cooling process instead of setting it right on the bottom like above your vegetable bins or something. Once it's set up nice and firm like this, we can see that it's nice and shiny, so our temperature wasn't too hot when we melted it. Then we scoop it into a truffle shape, and this is a truffle scoop that we are using, and we actually use this to make the truffle candies here at Choco Lee. So you want to scoop the prep. You can scoop it all, or you can scoop half of it and cover it. It will keep for, I would say, a week in the refrigerator. So you want to scoop them to about this size. Once you scoop the beignets, then we put them in the freezer so that they will freeze. This is one of the important secrets to the whole process, that the beignets go into the fryer-later frozen. And that's what allows the chocolate to melt during the process so that we have the nice liquid center and the warm, crispy outside to the beignet. So I'm going to place these in the freezer now to freeze. While our beignets are in the freezer freezing, we're going to mix up the fritter batter that we dip them in before we fry them. And this is what gives the beignet the nice, crispy, crunchy outside layer from the fryer-later. We start with 4 eggs. For those of you that have trouble with getting eggshell in your mixing bowls, always remember to crack the egg on a flat surface, and you won't get any bits of shell, just like this. No shells. 1 cup of water, a teaspoon of vegetable oil, you want to whisk that together. Then we're going to add the dry ingredients, and we want to sift the dry ingredients into our wet ingredients. It's 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 1/2 cup of cornstarch, 1 tablespoon and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And we're going to sift this into the wet ingredients. Bakers sift everything. It's a step that often gets missed by the home cook, but it's really a very important one. You'll be surprised at the results. Now I'm going to whisk this all together. You don't want to whisk it really vigorously, and you also want the batter to be smooth. You don't want any lumps. You will have lumps in the beginning, but if you just keep whisking, not extremely vigorously, for a minute or two, your batter will smooth right out. Now this is a large batch of the fritter batter. This will fry up probably 3 dozen beignets. So if you're at home, you might want to cut this in half, this batch size. No lumps, nice and smooth. And I'm just going to transfer it into this container. Now we're just about ready to fry them up. So now the beignets are frozen. They've been in the freezer. So we made our ganache, poured it on a sheet pan, let it set up about 90 minutes in the refrigerator, scooped the beignets, and put them in the freezer. While they were freezing, we mixed our fritter batter. Now we're just about ready to fry them. There's one more step involved, and this is a very important step because this is what keeps the chocolate encased while the beignets fry. We wrap each beignet in 2 pieces of phyllo dough. You can buy phyllo dough at any grocery store. It's sold in the frozen food section. The sheets are usually about this big, and we just cut them down into little squares. It keeps best in a plastic container and also wrapped in plastic wrap. And you want to be ready to work with it when you open it up, because once it gets to the air, it dries out very quickly. So you wouldn't want to open this up and only be starting to scoop the beignets, or by the time you would get to this step, most of your phyllo dough will be unusable. So keeping that in mind, we're going to move on. You brush each sheet with some butter. This is just melted butter. And again, this is why we talked about that the scoop beignet doesn't have to be perfect, because it's going to get wrapped and nobody's even going to know if it's perfect in there or not. Each beignet gets 2 sheets, and you just roll it between your hands and set it aside. So I'm going to prepare 6, and then we're going to put them in the fryer-later and fry them up. Here at the shop, we fry all the beignets in this small portable fryer-later. I know you'll find them in many home kitchens. If you don't have a small portable fryer-later, you can just heat some grease. You would probably want to have your oil, I'd say, 1 inch deep in the pan, and you want to heat that oil to 350 degrees. And at that point, you can dip your beignets in the fritter batter and just gently drop them into the oil in the frying pan on your stove. They only take about 2 to 3 minutes to fry, so you wouldn't want to leave them there and walk away. You want to keep your eye on them. They're round, so they tend to bounce around pretty much on their own, but it's just a good idea to always tend anything that involves hot oil. Normally what we do is we wrap them in the phyllo dough and they go back into the freezer. It's the best way to put them in the fryer-later is, again, frozen. And the easiest way to wrap them is to work with the ganache frozen, because then it's not soft, it doesn't lose its shape or want to ooze out of the phyllo dough while you're wrapping it in your hands. So they can be prepped to this point and put in the freezer, and they're good for a couple months in the freezer as long as you keep them covered. And as you want to fry them, you just have to mix up your batter, bring them out, dip them in, put them in your fryer-later or the hot oil on your stove, and in 2 or 3 minutes you'll have really nice beignets. I have a slotted spoon in my batter. The point is to dip the beignet in the batter, not to fry all the batter. So we take one, we put it in, shake off the excess batter, and it goes into the hot fryolator. You want to work rather quickly, so for us, if we're preparing an order, we want them all to come out of the fryolator at the same time. If you are using a fryolator at home, once you have them all in the basket, you want to give the basket a little shake. Sometimes they'll tend to want to stick to the bottom of the basket, so we always give it a little shake once they're all in there. And if they are inclined to be sticking, that frees them up from the bottom. And be sure when you are finished to wrap up that phyllo dough so you have it for the next time. Air is its enemy. What I'm looking for in the fryolator now is for when they turn a golden brown. They're almost there. Again, it only takes a few minutes if your oil is at the proper temperature. And that's important because if the beignet, because of the chocolate center, is in the oil or the fryolator for too long, there is no way it will not start to ooze out. So you want to have your oil at least 350 so that the frying time is only a few minutes. That's what makes it all work. That's what gives it that beautiful crispy outside and the wonderful warm melted chocolate center. Okay, golden brown. Kind of pat them a little bit. You can see this one looks very tempting because you can tell there's chocolate in there. And the last thing we do at the shop is dust them with a little powdered sugar that also has a little cardamom spice in it, just to make it a little interesting. You could dust them with cocoa or plain powdered sugar. You don't have to dust them at all, but it is a traditional way to serve a beignet dusted with powdered sugar. When they come out of the hot oil in the fryolator, they're very hot for 1 or 2 minutes with that melted center. But after 1 or 2 minutes, they're ready to pop in your mouth. Enjoy.